This episode of News Dump is brought to you by Upstart and Stamps.com.
What a week it's been for one of the NFL's biggest stars, Aaron Rodgers, with a story that has gotten consistently dumber and dumber with every single update. And it's also become the latest example of someone's inability to shut up, potentially tarnishing their legacy.
Please stop, Mr. Rodgers, please.
Let's just walk you through this timeline, which really hit the pinnacle of stupidity on Friday when Rodgers appeared live on a sports talk show.
You get this guy talking.
He don't stop.
He's liable to say some things.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the Green Bay Packers PR department, please, Mr. Rodgers.
Mr. Rodgers.
There was like this whole thing in the beginning of the season too about how like he was all upset with Green Bay and wasn't even gonna like play for them this year. This whole year's been a mess for him.
It's got to be real stressful right now for Shailene Woodley,
Yeah.
his girlfriend. But on Wednesday of this week, it was reported that Green Bay Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers had tested positive for COVID-19. Mm-hmm. At this point in time, it would not be all that shocking to have someone on a team full of athletes, coaches, and other employees who are traveling around the country test positive for COVID. Plus, we have vaccines now that make the virus far less severe and deadly in an overwhelming majority of cases. So, testing positive for COVID-19 wouldn't have been too big of a deal.
No.
He gets put on what is effectively COVID timeout for the team. He quarantines until he tests negative, and then he comes back and plays. It sucks for the Packers, who would be missing their star quarterback for a game or two. But this is how things have worked in other sports leagues. At this point, nothing new.
No, this is standard now.
All right. But we should point out that the NFL does have a vaccine mandate, but it doesn't actually extend to the players. You hear NFL vaccine mandate, you're like, oh, okay. But no, it does not extend to the players themselves.
Just the coaches and staff and everyone else, yeah.
But nevertheless, the NFL has a reported 94.1 vaccination rate. So
that's really good. It's really high.
Yeah.
Only a few holdouts.
Just a few.
But oops, yep, turns out Aaron Rodgers was one of the very few people in the NFL that wasn't actually vaccinated at all. Despite everyone justifiably assuming that he was, because he had very carefully chosen his words when speaking about his vaccination status publicly, because he claimed that he was immunized instead of saying vaccinated. He claims he wasn't lying about his status because of that specific phrase. But I mean, just watch the video where he was asked directly about being vaccinated back in August.
Are you vaccinated, and what's your stance on vaccinations?
Yeah, I've been immunized.
He's literally just shaking his head yes. Yeah.
So it sounds like he got the vax, right?
I mean, if a reporter asked you bluntly and you went like this,
Yeah.
then you would assume that that person is vaccinated. But it also came out that the NFL, they knew that he was unvaccinated and that it was basically an open secret around the league, with ESPN reporting that, quote, Rodgers, 37, had an alternate treatment prior to the start of training camp, sources told ESPN, and he then petitioned the NFL for that treatment to allow him to be considered the same as someone who received one of the approved vaccinations. After a lengthy back and forth, the league, the players' union, and an infectious disease consultant approved by both parties heard Rodgers' case for an exemption and ruled that he would not get the same consideration and would be considered unvaccinated.
So we're not totally sure what that alternative treatment was, but local Green Bay news outlet CBS 58 spoke to someone at a place called Acupuncture and Holistic Health Associates by the name of Dr. Malachi Love Robinson.
Oh, weird. That's what it says right here on this chart. No, this person didn't even have doctor in their title.
Yeah.
So
this medical professional said, quote,
this representative for an acupuncture place
said, quote, that probably meant that he built his immune system up. I don't think he was lying. He was just saying, listen, I got my body so that it can fight. I think he's a natural-minded person. It was probably some remedy that triggered the immune system response that would put the body in a better state to, number one, fight the problem from happening in the first place. None of that means anything. But yeah, in response to the representative from the acupuncture place, a pediatric infectious disease specialist from the University of Wisconsin, a real doctor named Dr. Gregory Demuri, said the following to the news outlet: there are no homeopathic treatments, there are no special herbs or potions that have been proposed for COVID, and things even like medical drugs like ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine just don't work for the prevention of COVID. That's well established. Dr. Demuri also challenged Rodgers' use of the word immunized. Quote, the terms don't make sense medically to a medical practitioner. Immunized and vaccinated mean the same thing. So, guess he flat out lied.
That seems to be the case. He was choosing his words cleverly by saying immunized. And a doctor's like, well, that means the same thing. So if he wasn't vaccinated, then he's just lying.
I did my own research.
I mean, we'll get to that because he definitely just regurgitated every anti-vax talking point in rapid succession.
What's this guy doing on Facebook? He's supposed to be focusing on plays, focusing on getting that trophy.
When he was over on the sidelines with that Microsoft tablet, he was really on Facebook the entire time.
This is all the Surface tablet's fault.
Yeah, Bill Belichick was right.
He was ahead of the curve on that.
Yeah, no one's going to hand Aaron Rodgers a notepad full of all of these claims. But anyways, regardless of all of that local Green Bay reporting between an acupuncture and holistic specialist versus a infectious disease expert from the university, all that aside, it just kind of paints Aaron Rodgers in a bad light. Like, dude, if you're not going to get vaccinated, at least fucking own it. And don't allude to the fact that you are when you aren't.
Yeah.
He even went so far as to say that he's not going to hate on other players who aren't vaccinated, which in retrospect...
He was talking about himself.
It seems like an attempt to give himself some sort of moral high ground while doubling down on his vaccination status.
Yeah.
Like, well, I'm immunized, but I'm not going to look down on someone who isn't. But you aren't.
Actually, a lot of non-immunized people are pretty cool. Probably even cooler than me, who is immunized. Gosh, I wish I was as cool as all those unvaccinated players on this team, whoever they might be.
Yeah. But yeah, it's still just weird. That's all. The way he went about this is just strange.
Yeah.
Still, instead of just dealing with his recovery in private, he decided to lash out while appearing on the Pat McAfee, I guess it's John McAfee's brother, I don't know, Pat McAfee show, and basically played just the greatest hits when it comes to weird-ass COVID anti-vax nonsense. Here's Rolling Stone with some coverage.
In the hours and days that followed, Rodgers came under fire for misleading reporters in that August media session. Rather than taking an apologetic tone, Rodgers, a self-described critical thinker, started throwing Hail Marys at the onset of the show, repeatedly talking about witch hunts and cancel culture. Quote, I realize I'm in the crosshairs of the woke mob right now, so before my final nail gets put in my cancel culture casket, I'd like to set the record straight on so many of the blatant lies out there, Rodgers said, forewarning an interview that rattled off a bingo card's worth of anti-vax catchphrases. Ivermectin, politicized, my own research, a Martin Luther King Jr. quote applied wildly out of context. You have a moral obligation to object to unjust rules. Monoclonals, sterility, and more.
Yeah.
Man, it's too bad, or it's a good thing Shibby's dad is retired.
Yes,
He would have, he got out just at the right time. Can you imagine being on the
medical staff
of the Green Bay Packers right now?
Here's Rodgers in his own words during this recording, this live interview. I'm not some sort of anti-vax flat earther. I am somebody who's a critical thinker. I march to the beat of my own drum. I believe strongly in bodily autonomy and the ability to make choices for your body, not to have to acquiesce to some woke culture or crazed group of individuals who say you have to do something. I'm making the decision that's best for me and my health. And for me, it was a no-brainer.
Clearly, it was not the best decision.
Yeah, this is all very aggravating to hear, especially from someone who, I thought was a pretty decent guy. I think he did a great job when he hosted Jeopardy for a while.
I forgot about that.
He was a great NFL player. I know Shibby loves the Packers, so it was a fun team to watch. It's kind of a bummer. But here's some more interesting tidbits from his appearance on the show, chronicled by a writer for The Athletic named Ben Baldwin. And as mentioned before, these are all just the regurgitation of anti-vax talking points, the same ones that we've heard ad nauseum over the past year.
Yeah, it's the reason I don't go to the Herman Cain Awards subreddit anymore is because after
it's the same thing.
There are all these people who end up dying from COVID spread the same, it's less than 50, just a few dozen sort of memes and talking points, and they're all pulling from the same pool. And at a certain point, they're all just the same story.
This is literally Aaron Rodgers posting cringe, because he's saying these things as if it's news to anyone that this is something no one's talked about before or used as a persuasion tactic. It's like, it's like how people are like, hey, Let's go, Brandon. They don't know they're talking about Joe Biden.
Just say fuck Joe Biden.
It's like,
you're not triggering anyone.
Nobody is you're not deceiving anyone. And also, fuck Joe Biden. Like, why are you being sneaky about it?
I mean, fuck Joe Biden, but even for people who might like Joe Biden, it's like, just say fuck Joe Biden.
Yeah, why are you being a literal child about it?
Yeah, it's like, you're allowed to curse.
Yeah.
You're not going to go to the principal's office.
You're like, hey, Mom, chuck you. Like, look, it's fine. But anyways, yes, he's literally playing a greatest hits of stuff that's been said numerous times before, a lot of times by fucking weirdos. So here's some more from that athletic author who posted a chronological thing on Twitter, basically following along with the show.
Aaron Rodgers says he is worried about the possibility of vaccines causing sterility. Rodgers now discussing his concerns about inhaling CO2 during workouts while wearing a mask.
What about my body, my choice? What about making the best decision for my circumstance?
This idea that it's the pandemic of the unvaccinated, it's just a total lie.
If the vaccine is so great, then how come people are still getting COVID and spreading COVID?
Aaron Rodgers on his recovery. I consulted a good friend of mine, Joe Rogan, and I've been doing a lot of the stuff he recommended in his podcast.
Look at the big brain on Aaron.
You keep seeing this, Tim Pool got COVID recently, and he called up, like, every unvaccinated, like, semi-famous person just calls up Joe Rogan, and he's like, hey, man, I got like $100 million. I'll pay for your, like, monoclonals if you want.
Yeah.
I got some left over. I'll send them over.
And the best part is, well, first of all, they're going to Joe Rogan for medical advice. Second of all, it is always like some wild cocktail list of things that they're doing, and right in the middle is monoclonal antibodies,
which is much more experimental than any of these vaccines.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you can't say you're against using experimental medical treatments when you're also using monoclonal antibodies.
Yeah.
Sorry, you just can't. Yeah, it's a little bit of dissonance there.
Now it continues. They sent in the stooge early in training camp to shame us for being 19th in the league in vaccination rate.
I mean, that's shameful.
It is.
There's a lot to natural immunity, and natural immunity has not been part of the conversation. Yes, it fucking has. If you've gotten COVID and recovered from it, that's the best boost to immunity that we can have. That's also not true.
It's absolutely not true.
They found actually the best boost to immunity is if you had COVID and also got vaccinated, and you have the double immunity there. Yes.
But also, I like that the natural immunity, whatever. But the thing of like getting it and then being like, well, I got it. So it's like, why would I want to get COVID and suffer from it just so that I can not get it again within like 6 months?
Yeah,
just get the vaccine and then you don't have to go through that pain.
When you get it, like for the next couple weeks and months, you are in a good position. But it falls off.
Yeah.
These are facts. Getting COVID does not grant immunity that lasts very long, not nearly as long as even the 2 shots of the vaccine.
Yes. Anyways, the Rolling Stone article, it continues, obviously mentioning the Joe Rogan shout out. Rodgers, as he told McAfee, consulted noted COVID expert Joe Rogan after testing positive for COVID. The quarterback said that he was allergic to something in the mRNA shots and that he was reluctant to get the Johnson & Johnson vaccine over their incredibly rare clotting issue that briefly took that vaccine out of circulation. Earlier in the summer, the quarterback and his health advisors developed what he said was a 500-page research report for an alternative approach to COVID-19. He ultimately submitted the report to the Packers medical staff. Team doctors, Rodgers said, looked at him like he was a quack.
I would love to see just all the various powders that Aaron Rodgers and his teammates are consuming around the clock to keep their bodies at peak physical condition, because those
ones that aren't banned.
Yeah, but even the stuff down at the GNC, that stuff is not evaluated closely or at all by the FDA. It's just some shit that they're selling that these companies just mix together, and if something bad happens, then there's like a recall and then there's an investigation. But you can kind of sell supplements.
Well, it's like I like the idea of like Rodgers showing up with this report and the doctors just being like, dude, there's a vaccine that, and also,
Doc, you're not gonna believe this.
I've done more than the world's best scientists, and it's right here. And by the way, I'm not sharing it with the world.
Yeah.
It doesn't leave this room. God. Anyways,
anti-vaxxers are the dumbest fucking people.
It's the weirdest. I'm sorry. It is the weirdest hill to literally die on.
Yeah, in a lot of cases, like this. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers.
Peak physical.
That's what's especially fucking upsetting about this is like, Aaron Rodgers obviously going to be fine. He's not only already in great physical condition, but he has access to great round-the-clock medical treatment. When he got COVID, it was detected immediately. Mm-hmm. So, but a lot of people who obviously don't have any of those things going for them are going to see people like Aaron Rodgers and well, he's fine. It's like, well, you're fucking fat, and you haven't been to the doctor in years. Also, you live in the middle of nowhere.
It would be financial ruin to go to the hospital in any scenario. Yeah. So people wait until the symptoms get so terrible that it is unrecoverable.
Yeah, and then they're like, give me those monoclonals. It's like, you got to take those in the first 1 to 5 days, buddy. You're fucked.
Yeah, so look, it's just, this is very bad for a lot of reasons. And it makes Aaron Rodgers look like a fucking dick.
Yeah. He's a bad example.
He is setting a very bad example.
And I expect my NFL athletes to lead by example, especially their quarterbacks,
to a higher status. So I think that an apology is in order.
Rodgers continued saying, "Health shouldn't be political. I'm not going to go on Fox News like I'm not going to go on CNN. I'm a non-vax person, so the right is going to champion me and the left is going to cancel me. But the whole time, I don't give a shit about either of them. The only desire I have is to empower people out there to take autonomy over their body." Yes, health shouldn't be political. That's why there are scientists who, in the midst of a global pandemic that has killed millions of people, developed a vaccine that literally saves lives. And that's underselling it. Developed the most advanced fucking magical vaccine in the history of medicine. A breakthrough vaccine.
Pushed medicine, the technology of medicine, along 10 to 20 years.
They're talking about using mRNA vaccine progress that they got through this vaccine to fucking cure AIDS in the next 5 to 10 years.
It shouldn't be political. It shouldn't be political. It shouldn't.
So yeah, putting yourself and others at risk is not noble or cool. Sorry, buddy. And lashing out at people who are justifiably asking questions after you lied about being vaccinated doesn't make you a victim of cancel culture. You're going to be fine. Cancel culture has lost all fucking meaning now. You are the quarterback for the Green Bay Packers. You would have been back in the lineup within a week or two if you just done things the normal way. The only thing that has changed is that some people think you're kind of whack for just being a freak about all this and also taking medical advice from Joe Rogan, of all people. That is freak shit.
That is what freaks do.
You shouldn't be doing that.
Yes.
I think even Joe Rogan would probably be like, wait, I'm the first person you called?
Yeah.
I don't know, buddy. Maybe get a second opinion.
Yeah.
Have you talked to don't you have a doctor on the team?
It's just the clip of Bill Burr and Joe Rogan talking. I'm not going to sit here with no medical degree, with you with no medical degree, and say what's right for people.
The Bill Burr I love for so many reasons, but that clip in particular, and that was early in the pandemic.
That was about mask wearing.
It had no real lasting effect on Joe Rogan, but he was like, yeah, shit, I got nothing to fire back against that right now.
But hopefully we won't have to wait, or we won't have to worry about any of this in the very near future, because Pfizer just announced that the COVID pill that it's been working on is incredibly effective.
Oh, they would say that.
And it could actually become available sometime in the near future from the Associated Press. Pfizer Inc. said Friday that its experimental antiviral pill for COVID-19 cuts rates of hospitalization and death by nearly 90% in high-risk adults, as the drug maker joined the race for an easy-to-use medication to treat the coronavirus. Currently, most COVID-19 treatments require an IV or injection. Competitor Merck's COVID-19 pill is already under review at the Food and Drug Administration after showing strong initial results. And on Thursday, the United Kingdom became the first country to okay it. Pfizer said it will ask the FDA and international regulators to authorize its pill as soon as possible after independent experts recommended halting the company's study based on the strength of its results. Once Pfizer applies, the FDA could make a decision within weeks or months.
The article continues, since the beginning of the pandemic last year, researchers worldwide have been racing to find a pill to treat COVID-19 that can be taken at home to ease symptoms, speed recovery, and keep people out of the hospital. Having pills to treat early COVID-19 would be a very important advance, said Dr. John Mellors, chief of infectious diseases at the University of Pittsburgh, who was not involved in the Pfizer study. Quote, if someone developed symptoms and tested positive, we could call in a prescription to the local pharmacy as we do for many, many infectious diseases, he said. Top U.S. health officials continue to stress that vaccination will remain the best way to protect against infection. But with tens of millions of adults still unvaccinated and many more globally, effective, easy-to-use treatments will be critical to curbing future waves of infections. And this is great. But again, like with the monoclonals, I believe the Pfizer and the Merck ones need to be taken as soon as you test positive.
The earlier you take them, the more effective they will be.
Yeah, you need to be...
It has a diminishing return based on when you take it. So it
so-
relies heavily on symptoms, testing, and so-
already being vigilant about,
Yes.
testing and being aware, contact tracing your social circle and all that, which are things that the unvaccinated crowd, I don't think, are particularly interested in either.
It does seem like a good thing, specifically for the unvaccinated who refuse to get the shot.
As long as they catch it early and aren't in complete fucking denial.
As we've seen before, when they are actually suffering from the effects of the illness, most regret not getting the vaccine. Geez, I wish I had taken it. It tends to be, surprise, an eye-opener. So having a pill available that could actually help with their symptoms and at the very least keep them from fucking dying, that's a good thing.
That'd be great.
Yeah, but as the article points out, the best way to help end this pandemic and protect yourself is getting the vaccine. Also, winter is coming. Get your booster. I'm getting mine on Sunday.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go Sunday or Monday. I'm getting mine.
Yeah, I have mine scheduled, and that's because...
I think I might do a little candy flipping.
Oh, no, I got Moderna, and I was Pfizer. So I'm going to do the whole buffet because I want to see my family this Christmas, and look, I'm going to fucking do it.
Yeah, dude, the 5G burns so much brighter when you mix.
The service of my phone is, like, outrageous.
Yeah.
But no, seriously, look. We're both getting the booster. It will be fine.
They know. They know. And if they don't know, well, someday they'll know.
If you don't know, you don't go.
Anyway, we definitely have some non-COVID news for you today. But first, let's take a quick second to thank today's sponsors, starting with Stamps.com. If you're looking for ways to skip the trip down to the post office and dodge all that hectic holiday shopping traffic, why not save time and money with Stamps.com? Stamps.com lets you compare rates, print labels, and access exclusive discounts on UPS and USPS services all year long. It just makes sense, especially if your business sends more mail-in packages during the holidays. Whether you're selling online or running an office or side hustle, Stamps.com can save you so much time, money, and stress during the holidays. Access all the post office and UPS shipping services you need without taking the trip. And get discounts you can't find anywhere else, like up to 40% off USPS rates and 76% off UPS.
Going to the post office instead of using Stamps.com is kind of like taking the stairs instead of the elevator.
What are you doing?
You're just going up a couple floors. Yeah, sure, take the stairs. It's fine. But if you're walking up 30 flights a day, hey, you could use a break. If you spend more than a few minutes a week dealing with mail and shipping, Stamps.com is a lifesaver. You'll save so much time and money, you'll wonder why you didn't start sooner. Save time and money this holiday season with Stamps.com. Sign up with promo code NEWSDUMP for a special offer that includes a 4-week trial, free postage, and a free digital scale. No long-term commitments or contracts. Just go to Stamps.com, click that microphone at the top of the page, and enter code NEWSDUMP.
This episode is also sponsored by Upstart. When it comes to paying off debt, it can often feel like an uphill battle. High interest rates resulting in minimum monthly payments keeps you in an endless cycle of debt. Upstart can help you get ahead. Upstart is the fast and easy way to pay off your debt with a personal loan all online. Whether it's paying off credit cards, consolidating high interest debt, or funding personal expenses, over 500,000 people have used Upstart to get a simple fixed monthly payment. Unlike other lenders, Upstart looks at more than just your credit score, like your income and employment history. This means they can offer smarter rates with trusted partners.
With a 5-minute online rate check, you can see your rate up front for loans between $1,000 to $50,000. You can receive funds as fast as 1 business day after accepting your loan. Find out how Upstart can lower your monthly payments today when you go to upstart.com/newsdump. That is upstart.com/newsdump. And don't forget to use that URL to let them know that we sent you. Loan amounts will be determined based on your credit, income, and certain other information provided in your loan application. Go to upstart.com/newsdump.
All right, back to the news now with some not very surprising news out of the streaming wars. Folks, we might have another Quibi on our hands because it looks as though Comcast's entry into the premium streaming model, Peacock, has come out of the gate stumbling extremely hard and has cost the company just over $500 million in losses.
P is stored in the cock.
Honestly, we would struggle to come up with one new exclusive show or movie that exists on Peacock at all.
Anything coming to mind?
The only noteworthy thing about Peacock is that they're grabbing back all of their most popular old intellectual properties.
No, I'm talking about
eventually.
Can you come up with a new exclusive show that's only available on Peacock where you have to download that app? You're like, I really want to watch this Peacock show. Name one.
I can't. I literally can't. I know that Sam Cedar was licensing his YouTube show to Peacock, like the first hour of the show, but that contract ended because Peacock is, they're severing a lot of their contracts.
Yeah, you could imagine.
So, yeah, I know he got a little bit of that bag, but yeah, nothing. I couldn't name a single fucking show on Peacock. Yeah. The only thing that really comes to mind is it's a streaming service specifically for watching episodes of The Office or other old NBC sitcoms.
Yeah, like you're saying, they're like, remember when we licensed this to Netflix? What if we took that back and put it behind our own paywall, or not?
So the brand, it's just not that strong because, as we've said before, even their movie studio, Universal, doesn't have brand loyalty like Disney. It's just a studio that also has a theme park, which also contains rides from shows or movies that a lot of them they didn't even actually produce.
Yeah, they have like the Spider-Man ride in Florida. They have Harry Potter, which is Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
It's very confusing. And we've said this every time when there is a new, very specific streaming service. It's like, no one cares about Universal, the brand.
I mean, they have Fast and Furious, Jurassic.
Yes. Which those worlds are obviously going to cross paths soon. We've talked about that.
They have to.
Yes.
They must. But yeah, other than I can't.
And Warner Brothers has Harry Potter. It's like, but I don't know. It's hard to like think of a brand. Disney just kind of like perfected it, where it's like they have brand loyalty because of so many reasons. But
oh god, if this fucks Universal so much that they have to sell, we're done. The world is going to end.
Yeah.
If Universal has to split up its assets between Disney and Warner, and we're left with just like 2 or 3.
I would assume Universal's in a better position than, well, no, I guess, no, Warner is pretty big too. Like, they have everything.
Yeah, Warner's massive.
But Universal's Comcast and NBC.
I would assume what would happen, hypothetically, would be Universal and Paramount maybe merging, because they're the two smaller ones. But yeah, that would be bad. There's already been too many fucking mergers and acquisitions. It is ruining the world, and it's ruining my entertainment. But anyway, none of this is shocking. Have you, or anyone you know, seen anything on Peacock? Let us know down below.
Yeah.
But here's the scoop from The Hollywood Reporter.
Comcast on Thursday reported $230 million in revenue and a $520 million adjusted loss related to NBC Universal streaming service Peacock in its third quarter earnings report. That compared to $41 million in revenue and an adjusted loss of $233 million in the comparable year-ago period. For the first time since the launch of Peacock last year, management didn't provide an update on the number of signups in either the earnings release or call. NBC Universal CEO Jeff Shell said only that the company has, quote, added a few million more subs and more monthly active accounts. The company previously said that Peacock had ended the second quarter with 54 million signups in the US, including around 20 million monthly active accounts. The service offers a free ad-supported tier as well as a $5 a month and $10 a month streaming option. So look, 52 million accounts, hey, 20 million active, okay. No, not exactly Disney or Netflix numbers, but it's a start. Good for you, Peacock. But the fact that they have a free tier,
that's bad.
And they're still not showing any growth or massive growth, when you can literally have it for free with watching ads.
See, I didn't even know that. Like, that's
I didn't
another
know
thing.
that.
Yeah. I would have maybe checked it out if I knew I could just fire it up and have to watch a few ads. I literally did not know that.
So the fact that exists and it's like, we're still struggling to find people. It's like, but it's free and people still don't want it. That's usually a pretty bad sign. Now it'll be interesting to see how many people are actually paying to use the service. That would be a metric that I would love to see. How many $10 a month Peacock stands are there?
They're all dead people who also voted for Joe Biden in Pennsylvania and Arizona. Their bodies just sitting there rotting in their big lazy boy with their absentee ballot and their remote control. They're streaming NBC Universal all day long.
If they were smart, what they would do is like they would market like, shows that didn't like age very well or people take them the wrong way. Like they have a cancel culture package where it's like, oh, you pay $5 a month and we show you all the stuff that the stupid libs don't want you to see.
We got a cancel free subscription plan. You know all the episodes of 30 Rock that fucking Liz Lemon didn't want you to see because they aged really bad because of like blackface and shit?
We got
They're on Peacock.
Yeah.
You just got to pay a little extra to peek behind the curtain.
Yeah. That episode of The Office where they stick the Post-it notes to their head and talk about.
I'm like genuinely annoyed. Those episodes of The Office and 30 Rock were good episodes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Everyone needs to calm the fuck down.
Yeah.
Put a little disclaimer at the front. You're erasing history.
Yeah, but no, you can only see those.
And release Song of the South, Disney Plus.
That's in Disney's cancel culture package,
Yeah.
which, by the way, you can't cancel. That's the rule.
Yeah.
It's $5 a month. You can never cancel.
No
it.
cancellation.
You can't cancel the package. It's great. It's the perfect idea. Please take it.
Yeah, I mean, look, America went through something, and we had a lot to atone for, a lot of bad shit from our past to reckon with.
Yeah.
But like, I just don't think like Alec Baldwin doing the Tracy Morgan voice is worth erasing from the canon. Plus, if you're watching the show for the first time, you're missing out on plot lines. It's going to confuse everything. So
Yeah.
put it back
But that's why you get the cancel package.
and release Song of the South
And
for science.
for science.
Anyway, over on the movie theater side of things, new releases continue to see rising box office numbers indicating that movies are indeed back.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, AMC continues to leverage its newfound fandom online by expanding beyond the theater-going experience if you do choose to watch movies from home or just start craving some of their popcorn. The theater company announced this week that they're going to be selling AMC Popcorn in malls and in supermarkets, as well as delivering buckets of popcorn directly to your door sometime in the near future.
This is the dumbest idea.
This is dumb. Here's variety. Beginning next year, you won't have to visit your local movie theater to buy a perfectly buttered bucket of popcorn. AMC Theaters, the nation's biggest movie theater chain, is expanding its business outside of the traditional theatrical exhibition industry and plans to sell its popcorn in shopping malls around the country. AMC is also preparing to partner with home delivery services in 2022 to allow customers to order from a nearby AMC location. This is like when Chuck E. Cheese was on Postmates.
What was the name of it again?
I
can't remember now.
It was.
They changed their name to like the chef's name
it was
from
some
the
fake,
canon.
fake Italian name. It was like Fazoli's or something. Or Fazoli's is actually a different, a pretty good Italian.
Hold on,
fast food chain.
let me ask Siri. Hold on. What was Chuck E. Cheese's pizza company name? Oh, Jesus. It's just information about Nolan Bushnell. All right. Anyways, they changed their name, and it was great.
Yeah.
We all loved it.
This is a weird idea. This would have been great during the pandemic when movie theaters were actually closed and people were watching everything at home. Like, this could have saved movie
I
theaters.
can't imagine.
Get a shitty $10 hot dog. It's the same price you would pay.
But imagine the quality. What you do on Uber Eats and you see the car coming from the local AMC and there's just a bucket of popcorn and like an icy that's melting and it gets there and it's like, this sucks. And like,
yeah,
it's probably not gonna do really well.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a fun little marketing gimmick, I guess.
I mean, if you really want popcorn, you can bake it at home. It's not hard.
Well, so that's the one like decent idea is they're doing microwavable popcorn with the AMC branding on it, but that's like apparently down the line from these other more ridiculous ideas.
Even Blockbuster Video, they were on that. That was one of their best ideas, is selling Blockbuster branded popcorn at the checkout line of the rental place.
And they did it in a bucket too, and it would just pop up out of the bucket.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
Anyway, as for that mall kiosk idea, it's literally AMC theaters, but without the theaters, just the concession stand.
So yeah, they're going to be able to get. They said that you can. It'll have popcorn and that cool Coke machine where you can do whatever flavors you want. You mix it up. You get your ice
freestyle
and some bite-sized gummy worms
and a
Snickers.
$10 hot dog.
Yeah, and a $10 hot dog. And that's where people want to go when they're at a mall for food.
It's comforting. So I don't know if this is gonna work. They seem pretty optimistic about it, but good luck either way.
Yeah,
it's nice to see companies trying things out.
I don't think it's gonna work, but I appreciate them for trying.
Yeah.
But remember when we spoke earlier this week about the seemingly inevitable future of gaming, which in some people's minds consists entirely of NFTs fighting it out with other NFTs and actually owning certain advantages in a game because they are singular and unique to whoever owns them. That was all because of that horrific article in Bloomberg which hypothesized about owning Mario in Mario Kart and collecting Mario coins and then being able to sell Mario for a profit because he's the fastest driver or some bullshit like that. Watch this week's first episode if you missed all of that. It's wild. But we obviously thought it was very bleak. Very bad idea. But We also agreed that the EAs of the world were probably already licking their lips at the idea of being able to monetize digital assets at exorbitant prices. Prices that make their current digital goods seem absolutely cheap by comparison.
Mm-hmm.
People were on a free ride for too long. Well, knock knock, it's reality, and EA is apparently just waiting for the right time to pounce. From an article in PC Gamer,
EA CEO Andrew Wilson called NFT and play-to-earn games the future of our industry, but added that it's still early to figure out how that's going to work when asked about the topic during the company's earnings call this week. I think that in the context of the games we create and the live services that we offer, collectible digital content is going to play a meaningful part in our future, Wilson said. So it's still early to tell, but I think we're in a really good position, and we should expect us to kind of think more innovatively and creatively about that on a go-forward basis. I'm going to pivot into NFTs.
A lot of companies are doing this. Like, pretty much every single entertainment company is doing this. So there you go.
They add that recent EA job listings include NFT and blockchain in the descriptions, suggesting that the company is at least aware of the genre's surge in popularity. A post for a senior director of the company's competitive gaming brand reads, "We set the pace for EA's investment in gaming subscriptions, our PC storefront and platform, competitive gaming including FIFA, Apex Legends, and Madden NFL, as well as new business opportunities including fantasy sports, blockchain, and NFTs, and more."
Madden NFT.
This sucks.
You can own Aaron Rodgers. Hey, nobody owns me. I'm autonomous.
You get to, I'm going to choose not to get vaccinated. That should be a game mechanic in the next year Madden.
Yeah. Unvaccinated card.
Yeah, whether your players get vaccinated, and whether they test positive. That would be cool, actually.
Aaron Rodgers would definitely buy himself in Madden.
Yeah.
No, only I own me.
Look, it's me.
He also
body autonomy.
Completely separate, but he also was like, I'm getting paid all in Bitcoin this year, or something like that. Some fraction of his pay is coming directly from Bitcoin or something like that.
All right.
Also, speaking of theaters, I went and saw Eternals. But
racist.
There was anti-gay. No, it was just kind of boring. But
racist, homophobe.
There was crypto ads before the movie. Like in between the movie previews.
Oh.
And Matt Damon was in it.
I didn't see one for Matt Damon, but I did see some crypto exchange advertising at the theater recently.
Yeah, Matt Damon was walking through and like showing off like one of the boats that Columbus came over on, and then like someone in a spaceship, and he's like, and we can do cool things too, and it's like crypto.com. But yeah, Eternals, I just didn't really.
Why do you hate women?
I read a review after because I was really curious about it, because I went in completely blind on this one. Same with that, and I liked Shang-Chi, and I went in blind on that one, and I had my expectations low, and I was just like, eh. And I read a review afterwards, and I was like, yeah, that makes the two of them that stood out that made the most sense to me, because I had similar feelings. One was Marvel just made its first DC movie. And the other,
that actually, I can picture exactly what that fucking means.
And the other was the stakes have never been lower. And so, and the whole thing with this is that like it's actually a much more massive, supposedly, problem than anything the Avengers have dealt with. But like it just feels like nothing the entire time.
How do you raise the stakes higher than Thanos killing half the people in the universe? It's hard.
There was some fun stuff in it, but like really it was a slog. And the good comparison is like, I saw Dune, which is like 2 hours and 45 minutes. Felt like the movie went by like this.
Yeah.
Incredible movie. One of the best sci-fi movies I've ever seen. Eternals, 15 minutes shorter, still very long. I didn't look at the running time before this. It is like over 2.5 hours long. And the whole time I'm like, is this gonna be over soon?
So you're saying you preferred the movie that was 90% men over the Eternals? Interesting.
Actually, the most powerful person in Dune is a woman.
Yeah. Dune's great. French Dispatch is great.
I love French Dispatch.
Lovely movie.
Movies are back.
Movies are fucking
I forgot
back.
how much I loved going to the theater.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
It's great. Mm-hmm. Anyway, back to fucking EA and their blockchain and their NFTs. This is in addition to an announcement from Ubisoft, who is also embracing the blockchain. Once again from PC Gamer, Ubisoft has formally announced its intention to develop play-to-earn NFT and blockchain games, the publisher revealed during last week's Q2 earnings call. Executives raised the subject of blockchain games several times in both its earnings report and during the call itself. This industry is changing regularly with lots of new revolutions happening, said CEO Yves Guillemot during the call via IB Times. We consider blockchain one of those revolutions. It will imply more play to earn that will enable more players to actually earn content, own content, and we think it's going to grow the industry quite a lot. So, once again, buckle up because it seems like this trend is not going away until these companies lose an obscene amount of money trying to make it work and learn a lesson. And I think they're all sort of, I'm surprised Activision didn't do that because I forgot I owned a share of Activision stock. Their stock, there was no share price fallout from all the shit that's happened with them, and everyone thought that was weird, but they finally had their earnings call this week and it dropped 10% instantly in pre-market hours, I think, and it hasn't really recovered.
I think Activision's probably they've got to be we can't have any more press at all. Let's just take a year of not having press.
Yeah.
Because we certainly can't have it right now. This also strikes me as just it is kind of, because these are happening on earnings call, I'm going to bring a bit of realism to this right now.
This is like back at Machinima when they would announce 100 new projects that were going to happen next year and maybe one of them would happen. But you just had to say they were getting involved in this hot new trend.
Exactly. If you're on an earnings call with a company that is involved in entertainment or tech or a combination of both of those and you don't mention this in your earnings call, your fucking stock is going to drop because the other companies are going to say what they're doing.
Some big investor is going to be like, so do you have any plans to use blockchain in your upcoming projects? And if they say, no, that's stupid,
they were okay, yeah.
Well, they say, we're looking into NFTs and blockchain.
Play to earn,
and
the mechanics. The blockchain is actually, we're looking at different methods on how to really utilize and monetize. It's just a bunch of
exciting.
Yeah. Realistically, that's what's going on.
They're really shaking things up down there at EA. Yeah.
Finally, someone who's on the cutting edge. My grandson's into NFTs, so this is really exciting for me and him.
He's got one of those lazy lions.
Those, what was that game that people played, kids played 10 years ago where you could actually collect the figurines and put it on the...
Oh, Amiibos?
No, it was like that, but not that.
Oh, I don't know.
Sky something.
I don't know.
That's what NFT is going to be like.
Yeah.
It was like Amiibos or whatever, where you put it on a pedestal, or you owned the figurine, and so you owned it in the game.
Yeah.
It's just history repeating itself.
They're like NFTs in real life. There's only one of them, and you own it. This is crazy.
My grandson has a lazy lion.
This is going to change the path of physical goods. We're talking about things in real life that you own.
It's got a little QR code on the bottom of it.
Oh my fucking God.
That picture you sent me of the tungsten cubes is amazing. Anyways, okay, we have to get serious. Now. Serious story. Sorry.
Fuck.
Sorry. Okay. Whew. Now for an update on the Rust shooting. Okay, because the armorer for the film, Hannah Gutierrez Reed, she's obviously gotten herself an attorney.
Lawyer up and shut up.
And that attorney has a pretty wild defense.
Yeah, this is
for his client. Yeah, the theory is that someone sabotaged the set.
Someone snuck on and switched out the bullets.
They did it on purpose, seemingly with malicious intent.
Yeah.
And inserted a live round into a box of dummy rounds. That's the theory, apparently. From NBC News, how did a live round get on set? And who put that live round on the set? Jason Bowles, an attorney for
Mr. Bowles.
An attorney for Rust armorer Hannah Gutierrez Reed asked on NBC's Today Show.
There was a box of dummy rounds labeled dummy, Bowles said. We don't know whether the live round came from that box. We're assuming somebody put the live round in that box. The attorney did not provide evidence to support his theory, but Bowles floated a possible motive. Members of the crew had walked off the set the day before the fatal incident. Bowles said a working theory is that somebody who would want to sabotage the set, want to prove a point, want to say they're disgruntled, they're unhappy, may have put a live round or live rounds in the box of blanks. Bowles didn't mention that the crew members who did quit did so over what they said were lacking safety measures. So this is insane theory. I think it's pretty stupid.
Yeah.
We have a feeling that these court cases are only going to get more bizarre as time goes on, and also might be a long time before we really have answers on this. But
yeah, this is a process that's going to take a very long time.
We already talked about previously how there was reports that they were taking, like during breaks and shooting, taking the prop guns from the set, and prop guns are real guns.
Yeah.
And loading them with live rounds to go plinking, and then it's like, and also leaving the weapons and the ammo unattended and not locked up for long periods of time.
Literal paper trails and messages between crew members and people on and off set reporting as it happened, things that happened on the set, as well as actual union crew members walking off or being told to leave.
Yeah, like there's rampant evidence of like really bad incompetence on this set.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know the exact saying, but don't ascribe to malice what could be much more easily explained by incompetence and negligence. Mm-hmm. And if I had to guess, it wasn't some saboteur sneaking onto the set and swapping out the bullets to like prove a point.
By getting someone killed?
Yeah, like the crew members who were mad about on-set safety getting their DP who was like sticking up for them shot to death doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Anyway, she's Hannah Gutierrez Reed is the one who was in charge of everything and should have done multiple checks of everything that was under her supervision. It doesn't seem like a hard concept to grasp.
Yeah,
but
say for the sake of argument that someone did try to sabotage this set by placing a round in there. It's like, it is your job to clear that weapon.
Right.
There's multiple checkpoints that it should go through.
And it should be obvious, because dummy rounds don't have the powder in them. I believe they weigh different, they feel different. They're not, like, dummy rounds that you can buy at the gun store have a little BB inside, so you shake them. I don't think the movie ones do for sound purposes, but if you're a professional armorer on the set, and you pull the 6 or 5 bullets out of a fucking revolver, you should be able to tell the difference between the dummy rounds and live rounds and blanks.
The theory seems a little desperate.
It seems like she's grasping at straws.
Yeah. But hey, let's leave you with a fun one today and a nice break from the serious stuff. A couple in New Zealand might have accidentally stumbled upon the world's biggest potato.
I thought this was an animal or a baby. I thought this was like a grotesque, like deformed homunculus.
Yeah, it's pretty massive. Just over 17 pounds, or 8 kilograms, in fact. It's also hideous, as Elliot said.
Yeah.
It looks like a walrus fetus. But they are still proud of the thing.
I would be so
good for
proud.
them. Yeah. Here's the story from AP. It's quite possibly the largest potato on record. When the couple lugged it into their garage and put it on their old set of scales, it weighed in at a remarkable 7.9 kilograms, 17.4 pounds. That's equal to a couple of sacks of regular potatoes or one small dog. In the week since their unusual find on August 30th, the couple's potato has become something of a celebrity around their small farm near Hamilton. They've named the potato Doug, after the way it was unearthed.
Well, we dug him out, so
that's his name. And Colin even built a small cart to tow him around with.
Like Randy Marsh carrying his balls. It does look like a big old ball sack.
Yeah. Well, it's like it's basically like a Tonka dump truck that they push it around in. Quote, "We put a hat on him. We put him on Facebook, taking him for a walk, giving him some sunshine," Doug said. "It's all a bit of fun. It's amazing what entertains people."
I like the idea that it is like the same weight as a sack of potatoes. Like I like the idea of going down to the store and buying one giant potato.
Why would I buy a sack of potatoes when I could buy one?
Yeah, all these individual potatoes, they're gonna fall out and just get all over the place. I have one boulder-like potato.
Could you imagine doing a baked potato with this thing?
You'd need
take all the racks out of the oven. Put it at 425 for about 78 hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hope you brought sour cream and chives.
A fucking thermometer.
Yeah.
That could get like a foot or foot and a half in there.
I need a big stick of butter to go with that big potato.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
The article also added that a more official weigh-in at the local farming store put Doug at 7.8 kilograms. The current Guinness World Record entry for the heaviest potato is a 2011 monster from Britain that weighed in at just under 5 kilograms. So the couple say they have applied to Guinness. They have Doug recognized and are waiting to hear back. Hopefully it don't take too long.
Yeah.
Because you leave potatoes out long
it's going to kill someone.
Yeah, it starts to get real nasty.
Yeah.
Starts growing roots, starts giving off gases that you don't want around.
There's going to be a lot of gas coming out of this one.
Yeah.
So
But good luck.
Keep it in a nice open air area.
Yeah.
Don't kill anyone with this potato.
Well, good luck to Doug. Congrats to New Zealand. Yet another reason to put that country on the map. Also, Hamilton, the area they're from, Hamilton Gardens, one of the coolest little tourist traps I've ever been to.
Yep. Well, like I said, keep it in an open area. Don't put it. I have a feeling that these people are keeping it in a crib, in a bedroom. Don't do that. Potatoes can kill you if left long enough. So play it safe, New Zealand.
Yeah.
All right, that's it for today's episode. Please check out our most recent episode of Tech News Day. And then if you want the rundown on everything else that we've talked about this week, we have another episode there for you. Stay tuned for weekly weird news. Subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and we'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.